Watching the Weather Channel, your hurricane authority.
And good afternoon. I'm Mike Bettis live in Brownsville, Texas, as we are now watching the landfall of Hurricane Dolly. What exactly will that mean for South Texas? How much impact will we have from rain and wind? A live update is coming up on the Weather Channel.
Texas is certainly feeling the force of Hurricane Dolly, especially South Texas now, as the center of circulation bears right down the coastline. Dolly, now a Category 2 hurricane, winds at 100 miles per hour.
Yeah, that's right. Heavy winds and rain have been pelting against South Texas all morning long, and we do have live coverage. And here's a look at some of those wave heights that we are seeing. And, of course, we're talking about battering waves, especially right close to the center, now up to about 20.3 feet in some locations just to the east of Port Mansfield.
So let's bring in Mike Bettis, who is standing by in Brownsville, Texas, just to the south and west of that center of circulation. So, Mike, you know, we were talking about foot traffic. Looks like a lot of people are staying off the roads. What are the winds like right now? I know it goes from very gusty, then it becomes a little calm as some of those bands push through. What's the latest?
Yeah, they've been going back and forth like that pretty much for the past couple of hours. You know, the highest wind gust that we've seen reported at Brownsville Airport, 64 miles per hour. Sustained winds now at tropical storm force. So we're now seeing the strongest winds we've seen so far. When we get the bands that come through, that's when we get kind of that squally weather where the winds really pick up, and that's where we see the heaviest rain as well. I'm going to kind of set the scene here and show you where we are. We're in downtown Brownsville. Nobody is down here. And we love to see that. We love to see that people are actually taking this hurricane very, very seriously. We've had a little bit of damage. I'm going to show you just one little light post here that during the last time we were on air, one of the bulbs from that lamp post there actually came off and crashed down. So just a very minor damage at this point in downtown Brownsville. We've had areas where we've had some downed trees. We've had some areas where we had some downed power lines. But for the most part, we're doing fairly well right now. If the winds get any higher, we may see the amount of damage increase as well. If the rain gets any heavier, we're likely to see reports of flooding increase as well. But for now, Brownsville itself is doing fairly well, although local emergency managers saying we are watching the flood threat very, very closely, and our areas that we know are prone to flooding, we're urging our residents to monitor those water levels very closely as they are. And if evacuation orders are necessary, then they will go ahead and institute those evacuation orders and get residents out as quickly as they can. Also, I want to let you know that water rescue teams have been stationed here in South Texas, so they're ready to rescue people if flash flooding becomes a problem as well. They say they have a lot of people here that can get to homes and get people out very rapidly. So it's kind of reassuring to know that those people are here if the need warrants that. Certainly when you see on the radar what Dolly is doing, it's very impressive. The structure is very symmetrical at this point. It looks like the eye may slide just north of Brownsville, coming over Padre Island. That doesn't necessarily mean the effects will be minimalized at all. We just may not get those 100-mile-per-hour winds that we have right now with Dolly. 100-mile-per-hour winds. A lot of noise going on here, so I always got to check to see if there's any debris. Nothing right now. But 100-mile-per-hour winds, we've got a pressure right now around 967 millibars. Movement at 7 miles per hour, so slow is not a good thing because that prolongs the entire event, Adam and Ebony. So it may be several hours before we get out of what we're dealing with right now. But as last check, last gust at 64 miles per hour, those potentially could go to hurricane force here throughout the afternoon. Of course, we're going to keep you updated constantly here from Brownsville. Back to you.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Mike, for that report. Now we're going to head to South Padre Island, where Jim Cantore has been reporting live all morning long. Conditions deteriorated there very rapidly, and so he had to go inside. So joining us now on the phone is Jim. And, Jim, I know earlier there was concern about maybe some possible roof leaks. Have you seen that yet?
Oh, my goodness. There's no question there's roofs leaking. As a matter of fact, there's a section of roof at least 20 feet by 20 feet ripped off of our building right here. I just watched before I came to you guys a pole on the tennis courts just come tumbling down. I'm talking about the whole pole. And imagine this, Ebony. You've seen a pine cone. I know we all have. Imagine taking the little outside parts of the cone off, peeling it. That's what this palm tree in front of me looks like. So whether it be some kind of aluminum fascia board or just the wind itself, I've never seen a palm tree like peeled like a banana from the top down to the bottom. So this is something I've never even seen before. But the winds continue to howl here, guys. They're out of the west right now, so we're just getting hammered by this eye wall. We have seen just debris everywhere, and it looks like there's a lot of roof damage to our hotel. As a matter of fact, they're thinking about moving some of the guests down and into other rooms because of the potential leaks. Just above me, for example, when I was talking to you probably about 40 minutes ago, I could hear my roof flapping up and down. So it's definitely become loose. That means water's getting in there, and no signs yet of leakage, but I'm sure some of these roofs here, if this continues, are going to start to leak pretty soon. We've tried to get out. We've shot some video for you, but you got to stay pretty close to the building, or you're just putting yourself in danger out there. Our satellite dish is down. As soon as these winds die down, we will put it back up and give you some live pictures. Guys, stick around. We got a lot more to go with Dolly.
All right, Jim, appreciate it. Now, as you might expect, we have a live team coverage as Dolly pounds down Texas.
Yeah, this is a look into Brownsville, Texas, where our own Mike Bettis has been reporting, and we'll have live updates from him in just a moment. Well, here's a look at warnings that we do have now issued across South Texas. Tornado threat still remains up through this evening, and now we have tornado warnings.
Yeah, we've had a few of these in and around the Corpus Christi area. This particular time around a little farther to the north. This is what it looks like on radar. There's Corpus Christi. You notice that red outlined area. This is north central San Patricio County, and this goes until 12:45 local time, so about another 10 to 15 minutes or so. Doppler radar indicated tornado, so nothing necessarily spotted, but that particular cluster of cells has that little signature on it, so we could be looking at a potential tornado. If you're in that warned area, please get away from the windows, find yourself under something sturdy, and go as low as you can.
Well, now let's head down to Brownsville, Texas, where Mike Bettis joins us. And, Mike, what can you tell us as far as how conditions have changed since you've been out earlier this morning?
Well, since early this morning, the winds have certainly intensified. You know, the rain comes and goes, but the winds have increased dramatically here over the past couple of hours. Latest report from Brownsville Airport, 67-mile-per-hour wind gusts, 63 at Harlingen. And then as you work your way toward Port Isabel and South Padre, a couple folks out here this afternoon, obviously. We got about 70-mile-per-hour winds out there at Port Isabel and South Padre. Now, what we're looking at here is downtown Brownsville. Not a whole lot of folks down here. That's good news. We've had some wind gusts that have brought down a few trees. We've got power out in a few areas of downtown. I was just out and kind of did a little survey around, get some traffic lights that are down and some power that's down. We've got some tree branches that are down on some power lines and a couple of buildings that have a little bit of damage to awnings, stuff like that. But that's what we're seeing right now. That may be a continuing theme here through the afternoon. I want to show you some video from around the area, not just where we're standing here, but again, that's going to be the theme. It's going to be tree branches that come down. It's going to be shallow rooted trees that are toppled over from some of these higher wind gusts. It's going to be a little bit of roof damage. It's going to be signs that are toppled over, maybe some billboards that'll have damage. Those kind of things are what we're anticipating because the strongest winds may actually stay just a little bit north of Brownsville because the eye seems to be going just a little bit north of Brownsville at this point. Unfortunately, the system is very, very slow, creeping along right now at about 7 miles per hour. What that may bring us, unfortunately, is a prolonged rain event. When you get a prolonged rain event, you have flooding. That is probably going to be the #1 concern here, Adam and Ebony. It's something that we're following. Haven't had a lot of reports of flooding at this point, but we'll follow through the afternoon. But still hours and hours of rain to go here in South Texas. Back to you.